Babe, we have to go change the toilet.
Do we have to?
We do.
Okay.
All right?
Okay.
Okay, let's go. Hi folks, welcome back to the channel. I'm Jason, this is Jen, and in the summer of 2021 we retired and we left Chicago and we moved to the beautiful state of Maine, where we've been carving out our own off-grid homestead. Now over the last few weeks we've had several folks reach out to us and ask us, how do we take care of our dirty deeds? And since today we're taking care of those deeds, we figured we'd just kind of bring you folks along and kind of show you how we deal well, with the dirty deed.
But we're not going to show them the dirty deed.
No, we're not going to show you the dirty deed. We're not going to show them that. But what we will do is we're going to kind of walk you guys through all the steps. So we do have a spot where we have been dumping it, so we're gonna take that over there and dump that. We're not going to show you that side of it. But what we are going to do is kind of show you all the cleanup that we have to do to the unit. And just if you're wondering how often we do this, we do it about every 2 to 3 weeks, depending on what Jen cooks. Well, we have our helper here, Sue, so...
That's not a cat box.
That's not a cat, no, Sue, that's not a cat box. Alright, so the media that we use for this is coconut core, and Sue here thinks it might be his own dirty deed box. So we buy these in bricks, and they are extremely compact and dry. And basically what we do is we put them in this green bin, and then we add water to it. So the amount of water that we add to it is really just just kind of play it by ear.
Yeah, just so
see the texture.
Yeah, just so it breaks itself apart.
Yeah.
It's not moist.
Yeah.
It's, you know, you could squeeze it and there's no water that comes out. It's just enough to just break it up. This is
Sue.
Sue's not gonna like.
Yeah, Sue's not gonna dig this. Yep, there he goes. I highly suggest wearing gloves. I guess you don't have to, just wash your hands. We wear gloves and then we wash our hands. But we've gotten pretty good at this, so when we first started doing it, I think it was a little messier than it was now. Let me just add this. You know, I've just taken the toilet section off. There's no smell. So I think it's kind of a misconception in a lot of ways that composting toilets smell. And some might, but the Nature's Head with the, it's got a little fan in it. And even now, I mean, you don't smell it.
Well, and it separates the solids and the liquids.
Right.
which is where your smell would be coming from.
Right. So, I mean, overall, it's good that it doesn't stink. Now, if you ask Nature's Head, they will tell you to not wash out the base. Some of the bacteria, the good bacteria, you want in the base so that when you start your next, your next cycle, there's already good bacteria in there to start breaking down the solids. However, even though we use coconut coir, and we'll talk about the different medias in just a minute, we do very seldomly, but we do get bugs once in a while. I think the last time we've washed this was probably 2 months ago, something like that. So about every couple of months, or every 3 or 4 times that we go through this, we do wash it out because there are some bugs that do get in there, and it is mainly when the humidity's high. So today we do have a little bit going on inside, so we're going to go ahead and wash this out, get it all cleaned up, and then we'll put some fresh stuff in it. I mean, overall, the whole process of cleaning this, we can get it done in about 10 minutes. When we first started it, it was 20 minutes,
Yes.
25 minutes, I think one of the hardest things we had to do was try to figure out where to dump our compost. Now, this is actual compost, and this is compost you can use on flowers, shrubs, trees, things like that. Anything that you have that is not edible. So you don't want to use this on vegetables and fruit trees and things like that.
It ain't going in my garden.
Right. So, but it is a compost. It is something that can be used, if you do happen to have, other stuff or other bushes, brush, whatever that you need compost for. Now we've hosed down the base, we've hosed the top. I'm going to keep working on the coconut coir, and Jen is going to get through here and show you how she cleans it up. Alright, so now that Jen's cleaned the base, what I'm going to do now is we're going to go ahead and put our coconut coir, we're going to fill it up. Now the reason we use coconut coir as opposed to, say, peat moss is when we first got the toilet, we tried peat moss and it was absolutely terrible. A couple of things happened. Number one, we had tons of bugs right off the bat. Number two, the peat moss actually within just a few days and a few uses, it had a really bad stench to it, and then it was also starting to mold on the top, which was really weird because it's got this particular toilet has this really cool agitator. You just spin it every time you use it, yet the peat moss was, maybe it was the type of peat moss we bought, but it was awful, just awful. So we switched over to this coconut coir. and we've had no problems with it. Other than the occasional bug, every few months in the summertime with the humidity. Other than that, this stuff has it's been great. We usually break up 2 bars or 2 bricks when we get ready to do this. We keep a 5-gallon bucket in the bathroom that has extra good clean coconut coir, and so as we get later in the cycle, we may add some and add a lot. That's where we'll pull it from there and add it to the base here. So all right, so the next step is just add it. Now you do not want your coconut coir to be soaking, dripping wet. You want it to be moist, but not so moist that it's got visible water. You also don't want it to be completely dry either. You kind of want it to be this fluffy, damp type of consistency. Now, over the course of the next few weeks, the compost will have more than enough moisture in it, and it will also have plenty of airflow because there is a built-in fan, so this does need to be vented outside. So the vent does run 24/7, but we put ours on a timer, so it runs 15 minutes every hour, just because we're on solar and it's just the 2 of us, and we don't use it often enough to let it run that whole time non-stop. And 15 minutes every hour just seems to work for us. Like I said, we have no smell in the bathroom. You'd never know we were composting.
In the summertime, we do have it going for about 8 to 12 hours straight. We were having issues where we were more frequently having to change it because it was staying too moist all the time.
Sure.
Because of the humidity. So I turned the fan on for during the day.
Yeah.
And then at night when it got cooler, it would cut off.
For every 15 minutes, 15 minutes an hour.
Yep.
Yeah. And those timers, you can just get those. We got ours, I think, at Walmart.
Yep.
They're just a little timers.
So I have to come back after him and clean the edge because he leaves a mess. And,
I leave a mess everywhere I go.
and you can't have stuff on the edge, otherwise it doesn't seal properly.
Ah, that's a good point. So there is a rubber seal that she's wiping clean right now, and so when we put the top onto the base and then latch it, it'll actually seal to keep contain all of the compost. So the way this goes on, there's a hoop or a loop right here on the back of the base. Slides on, closes, and latches, and that's it. Overall, the Nature's Head composting toilet has done a great job for us.
Yeah.
It is, every couple of weeks we do have to change it, which I can see how that could be an inconvenience. It is not much of an inconvenience to us, but if you ask us in January or February when it's 0 degrees, you might get a different reaction because we do have to clean this outside and we do have to clean it in the wintertime. I will say this though, had we known how easy this was, we would probably have done it earlier than when we started, just because it really is easy. And it allows us to have a normal bathroom.
And you don't have to go outside.
Yeah,
In the middle of the night, that's not fun.
Before we moved into our cabins, when we had first come to the property, we were staying in the smaller cabin, and all we had at the time was an outhouse. And although it's only 30 feet from the cabin, to have to go outside at night was
unnerving,
to say the least. All right, folks, well, we're going to finish this up. I hope that helps to answer some of the questions that you folks have asked us about our system and about how we clean it. I'm sure other folks, will clean these things differently. This is how it works for us, and we do share the duty, literally.
Some do the duty a little more than others.
Yes. Well, what can I say? Well, thank you very much for sticking around watching this video. If you liked it, please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you folks on the next video.